Probability 13.3 exercise. Third problem. Of the students in a college, it is known that 60% reside in a hostel and 40 are day scholars. Day scholars means not residing in a hostel. Previous results report that 30% of all the students who reside in a hostel attain A grade and 20% of the day scholars attain A grade in their annual examination. At the end of the year, the student is chosen at random from the college and he has an A grade. What is the probability that the student is a hosteler? Hosteler means that one who stays in a hostel. Now, 60% are hostelers and 40% are day scholars. So 30% of the hostelers attain A grade and 20% of the day scholars attain A grade. Look here, 30% of the hostelers attain A grade and 20% of the day scholars attain A grade in the annual examination. Now at the end of the year, one student is chosen at random. See, one student was picked up. Now the problem is, this is the problem. What is the probability that the student is a hosteler? What is the probability that the student is a hosteler? That is the problem. So look here. H means the one who stays in a hostel. So probability of hosteler out of 160, 60%, see, out of 160 of them are there, those who stay in a hostel. That is, if you simplify this, we get this 3 by 5. The probability of the day scholars, how many of them are there? 40 out of 100. If you calculate them, you will get 2 by 5. So PH is the probability of hostelers, 3 by 5. Probability of day scholars, 2 by 5. That you find out. Now here, probability that a student has attained A grade, given that he is a hosteler. So he is staying in a hostel and he has attained A grade. That's how we have to read this. Probability that a student has attained A grade. Look here. What is A? A is the event getting A grade. A is the event getting A grade. Now a student has got A grade given that he is a hosteler. See, 30%, 30 out of 100. He has given here. Okay. It is 30% of the hostelers attain A grade. So probability of a student getting A grade given that he is a hosteler is 30 by 100, that is 3 by 10. Again, probability that a student has attained A grade given that he is a day scholar. How much is that? 20%. Look here. It is here. See, 20%, 30 and 20%. Look at 20. So probability that a student has attained A grade given that he is a day scholar, that is 20 out of 100. That comes to 1 by 5. So you have to remember all this. Now what we have to find out is the probability that a student is a hosteler given that he has attained A grade. The student is a hosteler, that is, he is staying in a hostel, given that he has attained A grade. See, look here. That's how we have to read it. Probability that a student is a hosteler given that he has attained A grade. And now this is what we have to find out. And now we make use of Bayes theorem. According to Bayes formula, this is what we have to write. Look here. P probability of H bar A, PH, P A bar H. And the same thing we write here. In the previous example we have told you. Look here. There we had taken E1 and E2. But here we are taking H and D in place of E1 and E2. In the earlier problem, we had taken E1 and E2. But here we are taking H and D. Therefore, probability of H given that A has already occurred, PH, P A bar H. And the same thing we write in the denominator again. And the second term plus. In place of H we write D. See, in the earlier case we had written, in place of E1 we had written E2 in the earlier problem. So, probability of D, probability of A bar D, look here, A bar D. All these things we know here. See, there is a list of all these values and you put them one by one. What is pH? 3 by 5. What is the probability of A given that H has occurred already? That is, how much is 3 by 10? That you write here. And below, here in the denominator, the same thing you write. Whatever you have written here, the same thing you write. Because these two are same. And we get the same thing here. Plus, now probability of D, how much is that? That is 2 by 5. Look here, that you write 2 by 5. Probability that A has, probability of A, given that D has already occurred, that is probability A bar D, where is that? It is A 1 by 5. So you write all those values and the simple thing. Now calculation is the only work we have to do. So if we calculate this, we get 9 by 50 because how much is this? 8 into, if you simplify, we will get 9 by 50. And if you write 9 by 50, the same thing you have to write here because these two are same. Plus 2 by 25. And you add up these two, look here. If you add up these two, you get this one. 9 by 50 you write as it is. And this is 50 and this is 25. We take 50 as the LCM. 50 divided by 50 is 1. 1 into 9 is 9. You write plus this 50 divided by 25 is 2 times 2 into 2 is 4. And that comes to, look here, 9 by 50 you write as it is divided by, so 9 plus 4, 13 by 50. Division sign is there, we have to invert this one. So we have inverted and we can calculate this very easily. That is 9 by 13. So probability that a student is a hosteler given that he has attained a grade. Probability that the student is a hosteler given that he has attained a grade is this one, 9 by 13. So I have written these things here. Look here, you can make note of these things also if you want. Look, see pH, PD, PA bar H, PA bar D and PH bar A. This is what we have to find out, and we found its value to be 9 by 13. See, what is PH? Probability that the student is a hosteler. What is PD? Probability that the student is a day scholar. What is probability A bar H? Probability that the student got a grade given that he is a hosteler. Now here, probability A bar D. Probability that the student is a, probability that the student got a grade given that he is a day scholar. So D, day scholar. Now probability of H bar A, that is probability that the student attained a grade, probability that the student is a hosteler, H. Probability that the student is a hosteler given that he got a grade, given that he got a grade. Here, probability that the student is a hosteler given that he is a day scholar. Probability that the student is a hosteler given that he has attained a grade. So I think this explanation is enough. I think you have followed the problem. Thank you.